Hey, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at Verasity, ticker VRA against USDT. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. Now, jumping into the daily chart, we are on TradingView at the moment, and you do have the Fib tab over here from the swing high to the swing low. So this Fibonacci retracement gives us a target at the 1.618, sitting roughly at 20 cents, and that puts the market cap at $708 million, which I think is very doable for Verasity in this bull market. And with a parabolic rise that we do expect towards the end of the year, I do think we potentially can get there. So, this doesn't mean that we are going to get there, but I'm just saying that that's a possibility. Obviously, I would look to start taking profits before we get to the 1.618 so that, you minimize the risk. And right now on the daily chart, what we started doing is we are losing the 20 and the 55 EMA on the daily chart. So we've lost the 20 already, and now we're looking to lose the 55. And what do I see happening is we potentially are coming back down to retest this swing high of the Fib retracement, because ever since we broke out over here, we didn't really have a solid retest. And this is exactly what we're doing right now. So I wouldn't expect us coming back below this swing high. So we are coming back for a healthy retest. That's everything that I think is going to happen at this moment. I think in the next couple of days, we're going to start recovering. And, November is typically one of the most bullish months for crypto and for Bitcoin. So yeah, look for some buy orders at this swing high over here, at this previous swing high. And other than that, we're looking at 0.097 cents and 0.12 cents, or almost 13 cents at the 1.414 on the Fib. So yeah, nothing really much to add over here. We're going to jump into Binance in a second, but before we do that, let's jump into the RSI. So ever since my last video on Verasity, October 26th, we were in a downtrend ever since, as you can see on the RSI over here. And you did have a nice support trend line over here that was lost, unfortunately. So we're going to remove that for now because we're not going to need it at this moment. And we did have this multi-month pink trend line. And as you can see, we lost the pink trend line as well. We back tested it as resistance, and now we got rejected even further down. And even from these white trend lines, as you can see, they're acting as resistance from now on because we've lost them as support, and you're just hitting your head on all these lines. So you want to be looking for resistance at some of these resistance, trend lines, because these might be some nice, take profit zones for you if you start buying in here. But I wouldn't necessarily recommend selling any Verasity tokens right now at this stage, because you're in a pullback. You should be buying, in these pullbacks. Not a financial advice as always, but maybe some of you are jumping in for quick profits. I'm going to give you some nice levels. Now, if you're looking at taking profits straight away, then you could look to buy right now and sell at the 20 EMA retest, because we are going to have a 20 EMA retest at the minute. That's a 13.5% trade for you. Then you do have this nice resistance level over here, as you can see. So from where we are right now to that resistance level, that is a 34% trade. So maybe, if you're looking for that, and that is sitting at basically 8 cents. So if you're looking for that, you can maybe enter those kind of quick trades. But I do see Verasity at least coming to the 1.414, and from where we are right now, that is a 120% trade. Now, jumping into KuCoin over here, so you can see that we potentially have a head and shoulders pattern playing out, and we're losing the neckline of the head and shoulders pattern. And this is quite bearish, but we at the same time might be forming a double bottom over here. So as you can see, we have our first bottom over here, and we're setting our second bottom over here. So the lowest I would expect us to come is the 786 over here, sitting at 0.0575 cents. So that may be your last, kind of nice entry point for Verasity, because I don't envision us going, much lower than that. And this would be just above the previous swing high of the previous all-time high. I mean, So I do have the fib set up in a bit of a different way over here. So actually that was a bit, actually, yeah, now I fixed up the fib. I do apologize. It was set up a bit differently. So as you can see right now, we're landing on the 786. So yeah, we're pretty much landing on the 786, and you could see us lose the 786 just to come back down to these wicks over here. As you can see here, we do have multiple wicks, and these wicks represent strong, buying pressure. And if you start coming back this low, you may just have these wicks just like here on the right hand side over here. So you could look for some buy orders potentially below the 786. But right now, I would say this is a very nice place to start, bottoming out and, starting with that V-shaped recovery. So yeah, sitting at 0.059 cents, this may be your last nice entry point for Verasity. As always, that can end up being not the case at all, because we are in a head and shoulders pattern. And if this, 4-hourly candle ends up as a wick, then okay. But if we open up a candle below this neckline, well, in that case, we are, flipping bearish for a bit. And you may see, further pullback down, and you may come back down to, some of these support levels. You can come back, perhaps. You can come back to this support level, which we've done quite recently, and you can come back here to this low. And let me give you those price targets: 0.0558 cents and 0.0516 cents. So those are some levels to keep in mind. We may potentially come back to those, and those will hold as support, and that will be your breakdown from the head and shoulders pattern. You lost support, and if you open up a candle below the neckline, I do expect us a back test of resistance from this trend line. So if you enter right now, you can potentially sell this test of resistance, and then you can see the back test of resistance, and then move towards the downside below the 786. So those are all probabilities. The stochastic is showing us oversold, which is nice. RSI, we're coming back down on the 4-hourly chart as well, sitting on the index of 40, and bearish cross on the MACD, downtrend confirmation. All the indicators, all the oscillators are screaming us to, for a buy, basically a strong, solid buy over here. Now, jumping into the weekly chart, guys, this is interesting to look at. So you can see how overextended we are on the weekly chart from the 20 EMA. So you potentially even can come back all the way down to 0.0444, and that would be a nice entry point based on the weekly chart over here, because you're a bit overextended on the weekly chart. You may potentially, come back, a bit lower, not back testing the 20 EMA necessarily, and having your next move from there. But, just like AVAX, just like, Solana, these projects are already overextended on the weekly chart. So these I would start taking profits earlier so that I minimize the risk of a potential pullback, because the more the project is overextended, the more the probability there is that we're going to have a pullback. So if your project is sitting at the 20 EMA on the weekly and you still haven't made any, overextension moves, then that's looking good. But if you have a project on the RSI that's been overbought over here for some time, and it's coming back down, which is nice, we're having a correction, which is healthy, but you can see that we were overbought on all the oscillators for a very long time. The MACD was overextended. So if we're going to have a move towards the targets that we had on the TradingView chart in the beginning of the video, then we're at least gonna have a retest of the 20 EMA if we're gonna do it in a healthy way. If we're doing it in a complete unhealthy McDonald's type of way, then we're coming all the way up in a parabolic move, and then the correction will be nasty. So yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. Some people think that we're coming to $1. It may happen, obviously, but I would be conservative with my targets. If I have a certain percentage of my portfolio in Verasity that I intend to take profits on, then you better be conservative rather than be super bullish, because there will always be another entry point for all the projects. Now that is pretty much it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. Make sure to check me out on Twitter. We do have a Discord server, a Telegram chat with a lot of technical analysis and great projects being shared. Also, we do have the HaZeeq Crypto Club. You know, you can join in for a monthly membership with exclusive content, low cap gem calls, and some of those low cap gems are doing pretty nicely, even you know, with this dip that we're in currently. So yeah, make sure to check that out. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna catch you in the next one. Goodbye and good night.